biggest issue with ESG is that people don't understand what it means. It's being used as a marketing tool rather than actually something to understand impacts of their process or project or what to invest in. I'd say the second one is the adversity to technological risk. Lithium resource boom that we're having is kind of coming out because we need to decarbonize the whole world that we live in. And that means that if we use the same technologies to produce lithium chemicals that we have done in the past, nothing's going to change. So in order for companies to get really environmentally friendly and get the regional, the community on board, which would be the part of the social aspect, they need to really become accepting of technological risk. Everyone thinks that domestic supply generally has a lower environmental impact than an international supply. That's not always the case. For example, if you were to get spodumene, so a lithium-containing mineral from Australia, you would ship it to Europe and convert it to a lithium chemical there. It still would be lower environmental impact than if you would potentially get it from within Europe. So we really need to think about it from an integral perspective. So what we call in what we call life cycle assessment, from cradle to gate. So think about all the impacts all along the value chain and not just what's happening in Europe. The governance that's currently is happening from a policy perspective is that the EU is looking to produce batteries in country or in the continent, I must say. If you think about the first two factors, is that actually more environmentally friendly and actually do the people want it? And I think that then flows into both being pretty serious ESG risks. Generally, what we're seeing at the moment is that there's going to be a massive increase in demand. The mines that we're currently already having are not going to be enough to supply what we need. And that means that assets will be developed. And if you then integrate life cycle thinking throughout the development of those assets, you can actually minimize impacts when you have the flexibility to do so. What we always say at Minviro is we speak about environmentally informed decision making. So if you have your first process model, you have your first mine plan, then say, okay, what actually environmental impacts do we have associated with this? And how does it compare to our cost modeling and our production modeling? If you then link that back to the technological risk that I spoke about previously, you can really make environmentally informed decisions and develop both sustainable and ethically sourced lithium products. Big technological advantage that I'm a big fan of is electric calcining. So spodumene crystals need to be calcined for the lithium to be extracted out of. And in the end, electrification really is the holy grail when it comes to decarbonizing the world that we live in. So if you can open up these spodumene rocks to get the lithium using electricity, that's perfect for when it comes to, sustainable production. Another one that I'm a big fan of is using electrolysis to produce lithium chemicals. So again, instead of using the traditional thermal and chemical intensive process, you actually start using electricity. And that aligns very much with, if you do electric calcining and then electrolysis to produce your lithium chemicals that can be as sustainable as it gets if you use renewable electricity.